Hi, my name is Avi Federgreen. Welcome to Unleashed, a producer's guide to indie filmmaking. My name is Avi Federgreen. I'm a producer and distributor here in Canada. And today I'm lucky to have my good friend and collaborator, Robert Cuffley, who's based in Calgary, and has made 4 or 5 features now, Robert?
Going in my seventh.
Going into his seventh. I haven't been paying close enough attention. Today we're going to talk about Robert's career in the indie scene and, his challenges and frustrations with the scene, but also, where does he get his ideas from? And he's got a project that we'll talk about. Robert and I made a movie together a few years back called Romy, which premiered at Fantasia and was eventually purchased by Tubi in the US. It was on Super Channel here in Canada. Now we have another film which we'll talk about a little bit later. But let's start off, Robert, at the beginning of how did you get into the business? Did you go to film school? If so, where? And what was your beginnings in the industry?
Well, I'd have to go back further. So I started making Super 8 movies and scratching on the emulsion, on the back of the emulsion with a safety pin to make lasers come out of guns. And did a kind of our take on Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that would have been early 80s. But it was always a fantasy. I didn't know you could make a living because film to me meant Hollywood. I didn't know about Canadian film. And I was riding a bus one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this interview with this Dr. Leakey, I think his name was, and he said they're opening a professional motion picture production program in Calgary. And I thought, So by the time I got off the bus, I decided that's what I'm going to do. So I went to a 2-year film program at SAIT. I'm an alumni at the Canadian Film Centre, and I went through all of the National Screen Institute's programs back when they were in Edmonton. Now they're in Winnipeg.
Right. Okay. And then once you got out of film school and you did your time with the NSI and the film center, what was the first film that you out of the gate that you made, and how did you come to being able to make it?
So we got into features first with NSI, their very
Mm-hmm.
first launching inaugural features first.
Right.
We were one of 5 films. And that was very thrilling. So that was telefilm.
Mm-hmm.
It was $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I watched it recently with my kids and could make that for so much less now. It's insane. But it was training ground. I got to shoot in the great city of Moncton, New Brunswick, which was a blast. And it just hired fantastic actors like Katie
Right.
Isabel and Brendan
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher, 2 amazing kids, not kids anymore, from the
No.
West Coast.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of luck for it. I won, well, I'm not going to talk about awards, but we did very well.
Right.
And are Genie Awards still around? No, they're not.
No. No.
Anyways, we did very well. I traveled the world
Mm-hmm.
and the US and Asia and across Canada, and it went very well. And as I tell people, I say, I don't do heroin. I've never done any hard drugs.
No.
But once you see a film that you've worked on the big screen,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as it's over, the withdrawal kicks in.
Right.
And all the hate and agony and pain, because film is love-hate with me. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
love, it's hate. I hate it, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. What part of it makes you, what brings on, what's the hate?
I just find, like everyone's physiology, you deal with things differently. And for me, it's extremely stressful. So the film after that, Walk All Over Me, got into TIFF, and I had kind of a really bad experience. Like I was diagnosed with depression, and I'm not going to go on about that because no one wants
No.
to hear about that. But it told me that I can't deal with 500 things coming at me at the same time from different directions.
Right.
So I've solved that problem. with Prozac, my good friend. And but even with that, which is completely mellowed me out,
Hmm.
I still like to explode twice a day at my kids, sometimes
Right.
3 times a day.
Right.
But I'm less controlled by it.
Right.
But then, of course, it doesn't take your personality away. So I still find it stressful,
Hmm.
and part of it's exciting. But it's love hate. But the thing is, as soon as you see it on the screen, the hate disappears.
Right.
You forget all the shittiness, and it's like, get out of my way. I have to go make another one right now.
Right. Right. And when you watch your films, um, this when you see something that you wished you would have done something differently or whatever, does that create a bit of hate for you as well?
I don't actually get that. I've reached because I've had to show my kids all of my stuff, and
Right.
they've been in them all from Chokeslam on. Chokeslam's
Right.
this wrestling movie we did, and I don't have many regrets actually. I'm really
Right.
happy with them. I mean, there's little edits and stuff, and my
Yeah. Yeah.
first film could have lost 12, 13 minutes,
Right.
but that's first time director syndrome.
Right. Right.
You're too precious.
Right.
Now I just want to cut everything. Like if I can make it 75 minutes, I would.
Right. Now, that first film was Telefilm,
Yeah.
obviously, NSI. Was any of your other films that you did connected with Telefilm or anybody?
Yep. So, Chokeslam and Walk All Over Me. Walk All Over Me was 2008.
Yeah.
I don't know when Chokeslam was. But they were on board, and then they basically said, so you understand this is for emerging directors. And I said, yep.
Right. Yeah.
So you're not emerging, so we're not going to give you any more money.
Right.
And I understood that, and I totally get it.
Right. And so the films that you've done since then have all been independently
Yeah.
financed, creatively independently financed, and so
Hmm.
on and so forth, like Romy was, for example,
Yeah.
and the new film that we'll be talking about down the road today. Um, what did you learn from doing those funded projects versus when you stopped getting the funding and started making your own projects without intervention?
I much prefer the latter. I'm a less is more guy.
Right.
And I think so. I compose music as well, and if anyone
Mm.
knows anything about Logic Pro and VSTs, you can actually have too many instruments that it blinds you to the simplicity with which you can make a melody or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
And so Walk Over Me was I think $4 million, and like to me that was huge, and it's still
Whew.
huge. Like let's
Oh,
say
that's
that's
massive.
yeah. But I couldn't really do much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it's like, because everyone was okay. So you understand this has to be this way. You understand this has to be this way, or blah blah blah. And there was Movie Central and Movie Network that were funding from opposite
Right.
ends of the country, and they both had different opinions.
Right.
Um, I do remember one distributor saying no one's going to pay to watch a movie with two women as leads. I
Right.
love I love how that's aged.
Right.
Because that was Lily Sobieski and Trisha Helfer, and they were wonderful.
Right.
Um, but honestly, and I'm not saying this, there's that point in Spinal Tap where the interviewer, the director Rob Reiner says, you used to be playing a million seat stadiums, and now you're down to like 60,000. And how does that feel? And he goes, well, we prefer it actually. It's more refined. But taking the joke out of that, I actually do prefer it this way. And the
Right.
reasons are horror has been a love of mine ever since my Mennonite mom, forbid me from watching it. That's how you make kids listen or to lust after something is saying you can't do it, as
Right.
everyone knows.
Right.
Um, so while my parents were getting a divorce, I rented a Laserdisc player and watched Friday the 13th, Halloween, My Bloody Valentine, Videodrome, all in one day. And I was pretty traumatized, but I also could not stop thinking about it.
Right.
and it's still in my mind. But
Uh-huh.
what I like about it is that it's the genre is the star, so I don't have to go through that whole. You got to get someone that guest starred on Matlock in 1964. You got to get that person.
Right.
And by the way, that does nothing to your box office.
No.
I mean, unless you're getting Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
like, and I'm very lucky to have worked with some recognizable actors. But the pursuit, and if it works out, great.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tailor a project around them and just get on my hands and knees and pray that they accept it because it's no, like horror doesn't need a star. The genre is the star, and I love that. But I also love um, the simplicity of it. So not horror in a sense of like say The Mist. I love The Mist, but there's so many tentacled special effects and animatronics
Right.
that still hold up pretty well. I have to say. Just watch it.
Right. Right.
It's not as funny as the third time. I'm just waiting. That was a punchline, but it's it does it holds up. But I just like honestly, my favorite horror film of the last 15 years is It Follows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was
I agree.
under a million.
Yep.
And I love, I crave the way he shot that, which is
Yeah.
very minimal
Yeah.
and overcutting drives me crazy.
Yeah.
To me, it's and just if I'm going on a tangent, just take me off it. But it to me, it's just hiding mistakes.
Yeah.
So I just love the simplicity and how much he was nodding his head to Halloween by John Carpenter, the original one,
Right.
with the Panaglide and the long pans and tilts. Like that stuff actually gives me goosebumps. I don't know why, but it does.
Right. Right.
So film. So I'm very interested. I love seeing other people's stuff, and 10 different directors will have a monster jump out of a closet 10 different ways.
Yeah.
And I loved what he did. I loved David, how David Lynch did horror, even though people wouldn't call his movies horror. There's certainly horror elements in there, like
Right.
Mulholland Drive and whatnot. Um, but but most of all, I love knowing everyone's name. I love kind of becoming a family,
Mhm.
and I love being able to touch gear and not getting yelled at. I just love all those things,
Right. Right.
and yeah, it's
And you
so
don't have people telling you that think that they're filmmakers that they aren't, what changes they want you to make to a film, and then you have to come back to them with your arguments as to why their suggestions or
yeah.
requests make no sense.
So when I was young, I'm in my 50s now.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I would get very defensive.
Mhm.
You can't touch that. That's the word I wrote, or that's
Right.
the word my co-writer wrote. You
Right.
can't touch that.
Right.
But now I'm just more relaxed, and if someone's got a good idea and it's better than mine, I'll
Yeah.
do it. Then I'll
Right.
take credit for it,
Right.
but I'll do it.
Right.
Just because the ego, I can't speak for every 50-year-old, but it just doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
I just want to make something that. So here's my ideal is being in a hotel one night and flipping through whatever stations they give you and coming across one of your movies and sitting back and just going, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
And not beating myself up about it and just going, okay, I like the choices I made. That's all I want in life.
Right. Right. Where a lot of filmmakers, and it's interesting that you talk about, watching your own films. There's a lot of filmmakers out there that just after they've made it, they moved on. They don't
Yeah.
watch it. They don't take them and use them as a stepping stone to their next film and what they learned in the previous films that they made to take forward to the next films that they make. And I'm like you. I watch everything that I've made, and obviously I've made a ton of films, whether as a producer or a few as a director. You're forever learning and noticing and just growing as a filmmaker by rewatching what you've made and using that as a vehicle to help you with the next one.
I agree. And I would also add like using the cup. So it's important for me to be a cup half full. And by that,
Yeah.
I mean, I learn as much on every movie as I did my very first. And you've got to be open to that because I'll never go in going, oh, here's another movie. Here's what we're going to do. Bam, 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 bam. Like I like to go in with a sense of wonder and a sense of, wow, I didn't know we could do that.
Right.
Um, that's terrific. That's better than I imagined. So I'm about to start auditions, and what I'm looking for is people to read something in a way I didn't hear it. I want to be
Right.
surprised. And
Right.
I still have that sense of surprise, like a big kid, and I like that a lot.
Right. And do you have, I mean, you clearly moved into genre filmmaking,
Mhm.
but is there a part of you that wants to sink into a character driven drama story that you feel like you've always wanted to tell, but you haven't been able to have the opportunity to tell it?
No, not really. And
No.
if I did answer yes, it would have to have some component of horror. And I'm
Right.
not, when I say horror, I don't mean slashers. I just mean
Yeah. Yeah.
some element like Repulsion,
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby,
Yeah.
like that sort of, and I've watched those both recently, so
Right.
they're fresh in my mind, just
Right.
masterfully made.
Right.
Um, I can't imagine changing anything in them.
No. No. I mean, It Follows probably is one of my favorites, along with Green Room, which
Okay.
Green Room blows my mind every
Yeah.
time I watch it. And I think the most interesting thing about genre is people go in with certain expectations and then they walk out with discovering that the movie they thought they were going to see was not the movie that they ended up seeing,
Mhm.
and that they were surprised and they were educated in some way. And that they walk out, and I've noticed this when I used to travel around, when I've been traveling around with the genre films that I've made, the genre audience is much different than any other audiences. They'll walk outside the theater and they'll just stand there amongst a group of tons and tons of people for hours talking about what they just watched. And
Mhm.
you don't see that in most other types of films.
Mhm.
And they're super, did you see that? And oh my God, that storyline is, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And then when you as a filmmaker step out of the theater because you've done your Q&A or whatever, and you're looking for something to do next, and then you get surrounded by a group of people who just watched your film, completely engaged with what they saw, what they learned, what questions they have derived from what they saw,
Mhm.
and you could stand there for 2, 3, 4 hours and never be able to get through everybody.
That's so
Um,
great, hey?
it's amazing, and I think genre is really the only kind of film that really lends itself towards that, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I agree with you that cast doesn't matter. It's the idea, it's the concept, and it's the execution.
Mhm.
That's what matters in genre.
Yep.
And most genre filmmakers don't think about the creative enough when they go and they make a film, that the script need, like, you can't make a good script out of a bad idea, right? And um but they think that they can. And so they write something, they might do one, maybe 1, 2 drafts, and then they want to go make it. And they haven't spent enough time working it with other people, getting comments from other people,
Mhm.
really digging into the structure, the character development, the payoff, all the redemption, all that stuff. Um, I mean, Romy was how long in the making?
So I don't make movies every year. I make them
No,
every 3 or 4 years. So
right,
it was 3 years.
right.
But I mean, that's not working on it every day, right?
No, no, no. But, the more time you put into it, the better off the
Mhm.
movie ends up being.
Yeah.
You can't rush quality.
No, you can't. It just occurred to me another thing I love about small movies is
Hmm.
there's no safety net. So, and by
Hmm.
that I mean I know many people that do episodic, and they'll tell me about sometimes directors getting on set and not really understanding that this is the job. You're not supposed to make it.
You're a hired gun.
You're not putting your thumbprint on it. It's not
Yeah,
DNA. Yeah.
yeah,
And editors and DPs have basically told me, even if they screw up, we're not going to let them fail.
right,
Um, because the editor has tricks up her sleeve, and so does the DP. And I love the fact that if we fail, I'm gonna fall on my chin and skin it.
hmm
That makes it pretty exciting. So this next one is predicated on there not being rain because they're searching for water, and it could rain. And I don't have any weather cover because we wrote it in the way that they're in this desolate kind of environment,
right,
and that kind of makes it exciting in a
right,
way.
right. Yes, I'm very familiar with that storyline, and believe you me, my everything is crossed, and I'm squeezing everything in as well because that's a big risk
Yeah,
for sure. And you're playing with something that you have absolutely zero control over.
that sounds like a tagline to some Exorcist prequel.
Hey, that could be our next project. You never know.
Sure.
Um, let's talk about that next project for a minute or two. Um, we were really jazzed about Romy, and you and I talked actually on the sidewalk outside the movie theater after the
Yeah.
screening, saying how exhilarating the experience of making the film as raw as we did, and then getting such a great reception at Fantasia that we literally, smoked a bit of a spliff and said, "Oh my God, we need to make another film, like really bad." And what is that going to look like? And then I think we got on the phone on Zoom or something not too long after, and I mentioned this film Revenge that you've seen out of France, made in 2017, as being something that we never really see coming out of this country, a film like that. And that maybe that is the impetus to come up with an idea to make the next movie.
Actually,
And
before that, if I can interrupt.
yeah,
So I'm known for always giving people credit. Outside Fantasia,
yeah,
you said, because I said I found Romy suffocating
right,
because it was all inside a house, and that
yeah,
was the desired effect. But when we were done, I was so happy to be out of there.
yeah,
They wanted you to make something that's completely outside.
yeah,
That was the seed.
right. Which, I mean, you don't see that very often either.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of extremely low budget movies are contained, right? A house, a cabin, whatever, a cave,
yeah, yeah.
whatever the case may be. And this next project of yours, which is called Feral, is out in the great blue yonder, right? Like, I mean, it's out there, it's outside, it's in the, it's like a survival kind of film. Maybe you want to talk about it a little bit.
Sure. So it's a women revenge story, and it involves this fictitious drug called Feral, which I kind of modeled off of crocodile out of Russia. So you take it, and there's euphoria through the roof. You always ask, well, why would you take it if it has such bad consequences? But people do that every day with things. So for a while after you take it, your smell, your sight, your strength is augmented a bit, kind of like when you see six cops wrestling down someone on meth. The guy's literally he has no restraint, and he's using
No,
every core of his being. And you could say that's superhuman. So they have this, but on the other hand, withdrawal starts within 3 hours, and then you
right,
start to decompose.
right,
Um, so that's it. It's a rom com, No, it's but you know what I did go in, and I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
this as patting myself on the back because I'm
Yeah.
not, but it is interesting. Is that every female revenge movie I've seen has rape in it, and I didn't want
Yes.
this. I
No.
didn't want rape in this. I didn't want
No.
it. I just didn't want to do it.
No.
So she's avenging someone, and what I found really interesting, and I'm not going to name names, but as the first draft came out, and I had all of these kind of, I don't think she'd go out and do all that just because he was killed. And I asking questions, really, really, really. And then I said, what if it was a guy? Oh yeah, yeah, a guy would definitely go kill someone. So I found that really interesting. Um, and I hope to play with that on set. Just the moment where she kind of looks up and says, "What the fuck am I doing? Like this is insane. I
Right.
have no food, no water. I can't go against these guys. Why am I out here?" But I like those moments, and I want an
Right.
actor to bring that to the table somehow.
Right. And what is your process with actors on set typically?
A lot of yelling. No, so first of all, I send the music ahead of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've met them, sometimes I haven't. Low budget, one of the downsides is the lack of rehearsal. So I try and combat that with getting them there early, getting them together early,
Right.
not just on Zoom calls.
Right.
Getting them to hang out if appropriate. If
Right.
they're antagonists and protagonists, maybe you don't want them hanging out.
Right.
But to develop a shorthand, to give them movie references, to say, so my new one on this one is I want the actors to go through the script and any line that they can tell with an expression, I want them to cut the line.
And use the expression instead.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm very curious what they're going to do.
Right.
Like I remember I had COVID and I was crawling into the tub and my wife said, "You're not going to want coffee, are you?" And I was crawling in and I gave her a look like, "Of course I want coffee." And I want,
Yeah.
I'm not an actor, but I want
Yeah.
someone to bring that to the table because
Right.
I like, I just like things tight and I don't,
Less is more.
less is more. And the way we're talking right now that's odd to me because I don't talk a lot.
Right.
So after a shoot, I'm so completely exhausted because I sit home mostly making music and being quiet. And um, so for an introvert to go out, it's pretty taxing because that's outside my comfort zone. But the cast bring me just great joy. And the good thing about low budget, and I can say this is under $1 million,
Mhm.
is that when you get an actor interested, you know they're not doing it for the money
No.
because they're not going to get rich. Now, we're not paying insultingly low rates, we're paying actor rates, but
Mm.
it's not like I want a kickback, I want a percentage on blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, that, and we even put out on the casting workbook, this is going to be a tough shoot out in the middle of nowhere. And it could be strenuous, you know? So
Right.
get in shape.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing, squats every day because I know I'm probably going to be carrying gear.
Right.
Um, but we don't want any precious people, I guess what I mean, you know.
Right.
But the advantages of a small film is you're not usually going to get them because they
Right.
understand the assignment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to want a princess in high heels playing a lead
Yeah,
protagonist in a revenge film that is out in the middle of nowhere with who knows what kind of ground cover, who knows any of that stuff.
yeah,
It's going to be all a surprise once they get there, right?
yeah. And so we're not shooting Calgary, we're shooting outside of Drumheller, but
Right.
it's like anywhere in Canada, it could snow,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And she's not. She didn't, for her revenge tour, she didn't go home and go, I'm going to take this and this. She
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
bolted out. So she's wearing what she's wearing. So, I like the idea of it being impractical.
Right.
But on the other hand, I don't want my actor getting hypothermia. So
Right.
there's all sorts of things to consider. But
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, do you find that you get that sort of they understand you, you understand them on each movie that you do, early on, or is it later on? Where do you find it where the you don't necessarily need to say anything for them to know what you're thinking or what you're looking for and things like that, the shorthand that you talk about?
Yeah, so I'd say a couple of the things I did wrong in my first film, which is not, it's not atypical, it's probably quite common, is explaining way too much, going in and saying, I just have 11 points to make and then we'll try it again.
Right,
Like, don't do that. So I try to keep it simple. Um, I like to see them play it without me saying anything,
right.
as opposed to loading them up with notes and
Yeah.
then, you know what I mean? Like I want,
You don't
they're,
want them to feel like robots.
yeah, they're the trained professionals,
Yeah,
actors. I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah.
So let me see what you can do. Let me see what you're bringing to this. And then I like to keep directions small, but casting is a big thing. So if you're making huge, no, 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 this is completely wrong, then you've maybe made the incorrect casting decision.
Right, right. But we won't divulge who has been cast for this movie already, but we have some.
Probably because I don't know yet.
Oh, well, then there you go. Right.
Hmm.
But you're historically, you've always gotten good actors
Mhm.
who know how to deliver their characters. They live the characters for the length of the shoot, and the proof is in the pudding, right? Like every film that I've seen of yours, the performances are outstanding, and they deliver the pages the way they needed to be delivered,
Mhm.
which I think is great. And then you combine that with, you know, which is a rarity that you are the composer of the film. So you've already thought about the flow of the music throughout the movie and you share that with your cast so that it helps give them a sense of the tone and feel and everything else that you're going for,
Yeah. Yeah,
which is
exactly.
super
And,
rare.
and they like that.
Right.
It's like, wow, that's cool. And even like I like to think I've got more than half the music done, but I may not use any of it. Like
Right.
because the film is not the script. A film is a separate entity and it doesn't exist yet.
Right.
We're
Right.
about to create it, and so this music could be completely wrong. But I've had fun developing it and very inspired. Okay, I have to talk about Jerry Goldsmith just briefly. His
Yeah.
score for Planet of the Apes, all this weird percussion. Um, that's what he should have got the Academy Award for, not The Omen, in my
Right.
opinion.
I
But
don't know. The music in The Omen was pretty damn good,
it
man.
was totally, yeah, it was very
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited and nervous, but also kind of calm. You and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
Meditation helps a lot.
Yes.
Do
100%.
15 minutes a morning, which is
Yeah.
not a big time commitment.
No.
And I was cognizant yesterday of thinking this thought. I would normally be freaking out at this, and I wasn't. And that's a really nice feeling. Really nice feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that, you talk about, and I don't want to get too deep into this but you know that I have depression and anxiety and such, and I'm
Mhm.
on a cocktail of medication to solve my problems. And being around a group of people gives me that uncomfortable feeling that I need to sort of get out. And you talk about, the challenge of a director is you got an AD talking to you in one ear, a DP talking to you in another ear. You're talking to a cast member. All these things are going on simultaneously. And with how do you deal with all of that? Because you said earlier that, you know, doing multiple things all at the same time is definitely a challenge for you.
So my DP's name is Patrick McLaughlin, and he and I share the same love of 70s films, whether it's genre or not.
Right.
Um, so for instance, Sunday I'm going to watch Chinatown. I haven't seen it in a few
Oh my
years.
God, such a good
Um,
movie.
but yeah, wide lenses,
Yeah.
minimal coverage,
Mhm.
lots of depth. So someone close, someone far away.
Right.
So just knowing you don't have to go around and shoot three sizes of over the shoulder and all that bullshit
Right.
frees me up. But also, um, to all other directors that have done some smaller movies, like there's like 14 of us. It's not huge. So I don't have to fend too many people off, you know?
No, 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 not at all. I mean, it's a total collaboration,
Yeah,
which is the way I like making movies. I find that's the only way I want to do it moving
yeah,
forward, and I've felt that way for the last 10 years, 12
that's
years.
cool. That's great.
And it's the freedom of being able to partner with a bunch of people that are of the same mind, that they all have skin in the game,
Hmm.
that they all are bringing their best forward because they like the project, they like the people that they're working with. It's something that they don't get a chance to do every day. And they work on these big movies, which, you know, can be really frustrating and tiresome at times, to be able to do things that they wouldn't normally be allowed to do on those bigger
Hmm.
films, and being able to do them on these smaller films, and actually have an opinion that we actually want to
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
which I love. Like, I don't have all the answers. And if a PA says, "Hey, what about if we did this and this and this?" and I go, "Holy smokes, I never would have thought of that. What a great idea." That
yeah,
changes
no,
everything.
yeah,
But
because
on
they're,
most shows, especially the union shows, you have to shut your mouth. I
yeah,
hate it.
yeah, I can't imagine working on I've never pursued that. Um, this is my wheelhouse and I feel very comfortable here.
Yeah.
Um, and we're going completely without AI. Not that that's revolutionary. Most
Right.
people are avoiding that.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a bit of pushback. Like, how are we going to get this otherwise? And it's kind of
Well,
like,
how did people get it before?
exactly.
It's called
Um,
smoke and mirrors.
yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, for me, practical is, and I tell you, the genre audience also,
They appreciate it.
they appreciate practical. They can
Yeah.
smell visual effects, AI, whatever, from a mile away, and they hate it, and they make it verbally known. And so you don't want to have something come out in on a website or something that says, well, 30% of the movie was visual effects and AI. Well, you're turning off the general audience who is genre fans.
Yeah, I think that just happened to Eli Roth. I haven't seen that
Yes,
movie, but
I saw it. It's absolute garbage.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it just got a small release. Was it even out here?
Yeah, it was out. It
Okay.
lasted. My sneezes last longer than the movie
Oh,
did in theaters. Yeah, Ice Cream Man,
right.
awful,
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
awful. Yeah, but it was mostly a lot of AI. And
Could you tell?
oh yeah,
Oh,
100%.
really?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. It's
Um,
funny. I want to go back to for a second about
sure.
music and movies. Um, did you see the Odyssey?
We haven't been able to get tickets. It's sold out for 3 weeks in a row, and it's still I
Okay,
can't because we're singing in 70 mil, and I haven't yet. No.
okay. When you see it, I'm interested to hear what you think of the score of
Okay.
the, because the guy blew. I think it's the best score I've ever heard in a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like mind blowing.
You
And he's
know,
the guy that's won the last three Oscars for composition. So
um, wow. That's that Ludwig guy.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Holy
great.
smokes! Like, he created he used instruments from the time period,
Okay, that's great.
and remade instruments from the time period,
That's very cool. I,
which
I like hearing stuff like that. Like when the guy that did The Witch
yes,
um, used, like textiles and whatnot, clothing that would only be found. I like that kind of detail.
yeah,
Sometimes you don't have because that takes money, right?
oh
And
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Sometimes you don't have
no,
but I do appreciate when that effort goes into detail that most people don't even notice.
Right. Let's talk for a minute. You do a lot of sort of mentoring or
Yeah, I
producing or
love.
exec producing and
Yeah,
with
I
local
love.
filmmakers. Talk about that for a bit.
So I do love inspiring people.
Right.
And you get the thing after a movie, people coming out. But I also sometimes teach the U of Calgary, and there was one funny thing. Well, not funny, but eye-opening to me because they were like, "Well, we can't shoot this weekend," and I said, "Why not?" And they said, "Because the Scarlet or the Red or the whatever is booked." And I was like, um, what? That's holding you back from shooting? You guys have iPhones. Do you know what I would have done with that when I was your age? So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, to prove a point, I made a film with my then 5-year-old kid and my other friend, Robert Riendo, who shot it. And we made this super creepy short that played in the deep in the States, like Telluride Horror Show. It won at Blood in the Snow. And I was so proud that what I was mostly proud of was the point I was trying to prove
Right.
is that you don't need all that shit.
No.
So our gear was a tripod and an iPhone.
Right.
No, it wasn't an iPhone. It was a really old Canon SLR, digital
Okay.
SLR.
Right.
And so two-person crew and my daughter, and I think it cost $400.
Yeah.
And highly recommend that. So I want to get, I don't want to say kids, but young adults. You take for granted the ubiquity of a cell phone because everyone's got it, everyone's texting, and everyone's snap seating or whatever the hell they're doing.
Right.
But to use it as a tool, it can shoot amazing images, and it can teach you about what works and what doesn't work.
Yep.
And you don't have to post it on YouTube if you're not happy with it.
Yep.
You can cut it like you can learn how to be a filmmaker by doing that. So I love kind of showing people that short. It's called Penny Whistle.
Okay.
And I love people showing that short and then telling them how little my house, my daughter, my car, um, everything was in-house, so to speak.
Right. Well, I mean, look at what's his name, who made Florida Project and Teenagers. Teenagers was shot on an iPhone,
Yeah, I have to
and
remember to
and
see that.
and premiered at Sundance.
Okay.
And Florida Project,
Yeah.
obviously, and then his latest one won the Best Picture award. So he said, "Fuck it! Like I'm gonna go
Yeah.
make a movie, and I'm gonna make it on an iPhone." And he made it for basically nothing.
Yeah.
And we have the tools accessible to us that cost
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's what kind of fire that's burning in your belly is telling you just fucking do it.
Yeah. And if that's not enough to get you off your ass, all this technology we have, maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should look into another vocation, honestly.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, I think that's part of the what's interesting that we're starting to see a comeback of the what's the word I'm looking for? The Grave Encounters kinds of films, the Blair
Right.
Witch kind of found footage
Right.
films.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Because it's all about you can shoot it on an iPhone or a DSLR or whatever the case may be, and create a story very simply in one location or whatever,
Mhm.
and make it spooky and whatever, and even a two-hander between two people, drama or whatever. Like the tools, you don't need 25, 30 people on your crew
Yeah.
to make a movie anymore.
It'll
You
just slow
don't.
you down.
Yeah. And you don't need a ton of actors, especially day players, who really the lines that they deliver are mostly meaningless, to make a quality indie film. I mean,
Mhm.
Obsession, for example, was basically two people.
I just saw that recently.
And what I find the scariest part of that movie is that it's so relatable.
Hmm. Yeah, it
That's
was
the
well
thing
done.
that fucked my head, is
Mhm.
that I've been there, done that. And, um, I feel like that's kind of the thing that can really grab an audience is that they walk in and they walk out going, holy shit, that's my life.
Yeah. Isn't that the best feeling though?
Well, it depends on what the movie is.
Right. I mean, you
Maybe
don't
it's
want to.
maybe it's an eye opener to say, I need to make change in my life.
Okay, I get you. I meant more the exhilaration, like coming
Right.
out and I literally want to run around the block. That I've got that much energy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I love that. Ideally, I'd freeze frame like at the end of Rocky or something in
Yeah.
midair, but just running, yeah, just
Yeah.
your heart beating and just like yes, yes, yes. I
Yeah.
love that. It doesn't happen that often,
No.
with films, but it's rarely at home. It's mostly in theaters.
Yeah.
Um, I think theaters have gotten a lot worse since COVID in terms of viewer etiquette.
Yes.
Um, so my
Too much
solution,
talking, people on their phones.
here's my solution. I tried it at the Batman. Is I went and told the manager some kids who were super loud. I told them they were filming the movie, and then boom, they were gone.
Right.
Feel free to use that
Okay.
because it's a sanctuary. I don't want talking. I don't
No.
want texting. I don't want your phone.
But that's why I go during the day because there's
Yes,
hardly anybody in the theater, which
that's
is
so great. Eh?
it's a solemn, it's like being in your own home theater
Yeah.
because there's maybe 5 people in the entire theater if it's daytime.
Hmm.
During a school year, nobody's there.
Yeah.
So that's when I like to go
What
because then
what's the theater you go to? What's your go-to for that?
any of them, like they're
Okay.
all, I've got the Yorkdale one, which isn't that far from me. I've got, if I want to go downtown, I can go to Yonge and Dundas. Or I could go to the
Okay.
Queensway on
So
Etobicoke or
you're not
whatever.
talking like the Carlton kind of places.
No, the Carlton isn't, it's too small. The sound isn't great.
Okay.
Like if you want to see a film, doesn't matter what kind of film it is, at least you want good screen and
Yeah.
good sound,
Yep.
right? And sound is a character in a movie. So if you're not listening to at least like an AVX or Atmos or something like that, you're not getting the full effect of the soundtrack,
Hmm.
right? And to me, the soundtrack is one of the most important elements of a film.
Yeah.
And there's so many
Soundtrack.
filmmakers that don't even spend the time that they need to developing an amazing um, soundtrack of music, dialogue, sound effects, all that stuff.
So I would point to the late great David Lynch because his and Angela Badalamenti's music bordered um, halfway music, halfway sound design.
Right.
They were of the same mind. And speaking, this is a really weird right turn, but Mark Corvin, do you know him?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. But
Yeah.
anyways, I'm still bummed out about Lynch and Angela Badalamenti and Julie Cruz.
Hmm.
But their soundscapes were so bizarre, and if you watch it on a TV without a good system, you're just missing out, man.
Yeah. There's a movie that was made in Toronto actually for $500,000 called Undertone.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
The sound design in that movie is the movie.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, so yeah, it was good.
It's super smart.
That was shot in Toronto.
Shot in Toronto.
Okay,
500,000.
okay, good for those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And it did, A24 picked it up and made
Really
theatrically like, I don't know, $2 to $5 million in theaters.
excellent. See,
So, and then they signed the director to do a movie. He's going to direct a movie for them.
wow, fantastic. See, younger Robert would have been jealous. Now I'm just like, that's so good because that shows younger people I can do this because that undertone, I was going to say monotone, undertone that's small,
Yeah.
like half a
Super
million is
small.
small. But
Yeah.
he did it. It was a guy, right?
Yes.
He did it right in
Filipino
that.
first feature.
Okay. He did the things he did right is not bouncing 400 locations, like staying rooted, and not a lot of cast.
Yeah.
Those are the two big things that
It
will
sort
stay.
of reminded me that there was this feeling I got while I was watching it of, oh my God, Bruce McDonald's zombie film,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, that took place in the radio station.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
know, and it's not coming to me
yeah,
either.
it's not coming to me. But anyways, I mean, that film, look at that film. I mean,
Yeah,
brilliant, right? One location, basically one actor,
yeah.
and creepy as all fuck,
That was
right?
really well done. Yeah.
Really well done, all based on a novel, right? And the novelist wrote the screenplay.
Hmm.
And I think it's one of Bruce's best films that he's
Yeah,
made.
I would agree. How's he
Um,
doing?
he's good. He's good.
Yeah,
He's his hands is in all kinds of other projects and stuff, and
yeah,
he directs a lot of television.
yeah.
So he's been developing some other features. I think he shot one that is in post now. Um, but for me, dance me outside and Highway 61
Roadkill.
and
The roadkill.
Roadkill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but this other one, which I cannot remember what it's called, that's the undertone gave me that sort of vibe, which was great.
Pontypool.
Pontypool. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
One thing I'll say about the movie we were just talking about, Undertone,
Yeah.
is that I think that guy dodged the curse, or he lucked out, because typically for me, in order to direct small, I had to direct big first.
Yeah.
And by that, there's an awareness of what you need and what you don't need.
Right.
I absolutely need this. This I can do without.
Right.
Steadicam, please. I don't need that.
No.
But this guy, if that was his first movie, was it?
Yeah.
So he did really well in that he knew the boundaries and didn't go outside them. Because if he was cross-cutting into the budget, the seams, the strings would have shown if he was going to too many. But it didn't look low budget, which is something I like.
Well, and I mean, there's so many Obsession was 750,000.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Which is crazy, right? And it what $300 million in theatrical or something.
Yeah, and it's like my 16-year-old loves it. So if you can get that audience,
right? Which is that's who's going to the theaters now, is the young people now, and there isn't enough quality film being made for that generation of audience.
Yeah,
now.
And they liked Backrooms too, I think, right?
Yeah, they did very much so.
Lucia, my daughter, just flipped out over that, and then I saw it and I thought, "Wow, you really like that?" Like I enjoyed it, but I was surprised because it's so esoteric that a 16-year-old would like it. But she was completely drawn in by that premise.
Yes, I agree. And actually, the guy who directed It Follows new movie looks really good.
David Robert Mitchell. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it yet either.
That's because we're shooting in 18 days. That seems to be a theater movie. I just don't know if I'm going to have time.
Make the time, man.
Yeah. Well, Odyssey would be number one. Right?
Well, Odyssey for sure. So we're coming to the end. Is there anything else that we haven't covered, Robert, that you want to share with the audience about what it is for you to make movies and the things that the things that you can get caught up in that you shouldn't get caught up in, and
I would say
things
one
like that?
Sure. I would say a big one is gear.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing 28 Days Later, the first one.
Yeah.
And Danny Boyle, and he shot it on like a really piece of shit video camera.
Right.
And the first 30 seconds, I was like, what is this? And after 30 seconds, the story had sucked me in. I never thought of the format again.
Right.
So you don't even have to shoot 4K on your iPhone. It doesn't matter if the story's there. So the key thing is learn story, learn what draws you in. I always say watch movies without the sound on, because it is a visual medium, and then you can tell what works and what doesn't.
Right.
And just dive in. If you want to go to film school, save your money and watch Jaws. I always say
my favorite film.
Oh
ever. Oh yeah, that is my number one for sure.
Hmm.
It's what made me want to be a filmmaker.
Wow. Yeah, and it's still
holds
great. Yeah.
And nobody gives, and it's like what you just said about gear. Nobody gives a shit that the sharks are fake. Nobody cares. Nobody cared. They were still scared shitless, even though they knew the shark wasn't real.
Yeah. In fact, I said that to my daughter because it was on a 50th anniversary during COVID, I think, and I said, just so you know, the shark might not have aged that well, and that did not even occur to her. She was so pulled in.
Yeah. Well, it's the acting. I mean,
and the blocking, yeah.
And my favorite scene in that movie is when Robert Shaw talks about the submarine sinking and they're in the ocean with all those sharks. I almost peed my pants. I was so scared. And that's one of the best monologues, I think, in filmmaking history.
Yeah.
Given by one of the greatest actors of all time to two of the other great actors of all time, Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
I
miss Roy Scheider.
Yeah, he was great.
He seemed to go too soon. Him and Sidney Pollack went too soon.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your prep schedule to talk to me. I always learn something off of every conversation I have, and I've learned a lot from you over the years.
Thanks.
And I really enjoy working with you. I think you're a pure talent and somebody who I hope that I can continue to work with for many years to come. Mike Boone, are you there?
I am here.
Would you like to add anything to the conversation before we sign off?
Yeah, I always appreciate this opportunity. So, Robert, like many a great filmmaker, you started directing music videos.
Yeah.
So my question is, because I can just go to YouTube and watch it right now, of all the music videos you've directed, which one are you most proud of?
I would say Rockin' in the Hen House by Huevos Rancheros, which is probably on YouTube, and we won a Much Music Video Award for it. Through Video Fact gave us the money, and it was so fun. 16 mil craziness at Lloyd's Rollercade, which of course is gone now. And Huevos Rancheros is an instrumental band in the style of the Ventures. The Ventures on like speed.
Right.
And great people, and it was just a blast. But yeah, I did about 50 or 60, and I worked with a company in Toronto called Revolver. I don't think they're around anymore.
No.
But they would bring me out to shoot them, but I shot most of them here in BC, and it was a blast. And that can teach you how to.
And funny enough, for those of you out there, one of the owners of Revolver was Geddy Lee's
Alan,
brother.
yeah.
Alan Weinrib.
And he was a great mentor. I love that.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And he is Geddy Lee's brother.
Please tell him I said hi if you ever see him.
I will. I totally will. I run into him once in a while. So
yeah, good.
I'll say hi. Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the opportunity and the question, Mike. Appreciate it.
No, thanks for answering it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to thank all of you out there for watching episode 113 of Unleashed, a producer's guide to indie filmmaking. Again, my name's Avi Federgreen, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.